Alright, so another day, another page. It's day number 4, it's Thursday, and we're gonna read another page from English Cobuild Dictionary, which is this one, English Cobuild Advanced Learner's Dictionary. This dictionary is really bad, but it has a good pronunciation guide, which is International Phonetic Alphabet. So if English is your second language and you want to learn how to correctly pronounce words, this is a good dictionary, because usually dictionaries with International Phonetic Alphabet, they just have a little mark which shows the accent. Well, these ones actually have underlined letters, several letters which are used as an accent in a word, so it's actually easy to see and makes more sense, because it is very clear which part of the word is pronounced with emphasis. Alright, so go page 65. Appreciative. Oh, I always thought this is pronounced appreciative. Appreciative. It's appreciative. An appreciative reaction or comment shows the enjoyment that you are getting from something. There's a murmur of appreciative laughter. If you are appreciative of something, you are grateful for it. We have been very appreciative of their support. Appreciative. Apprehend. It sounds American. Apprehend. If the police apprehend someone, they catch them and arrest them. Apprehend. Police have not apprehended her killer. Apprehension. Apprehension is a feeling of fear that something bad may happen. It reflects real anger and apprehension about the future. I tensed every muscle in my body in apprehension. So expectations of bad thing. Apprehension. The apprehension of someone who is thought to be a criminal is their capture or arrest by the police. The fear of arrest by the police. Apprehension. Information leading to the apprehension of the alleged killer. Apprehensive. Someone who is apprehensive is afraid that something bad may happen. People are still terribly apprehensive about the future. Apprentice. An apprentice is a young person who works for someone in order to learn their skill. He left school at 15 and trained as an apprentice carpenter. If a young person is apprenticed to someone, they go to work for them in order to learn their skill. I was apprenticed to a builder when I was 14. Apprenticeship. Someone who has an apprenticeship work for a fixed period of time for a person who has a particular skill in order to learn the skill. Apprenticeship is the system of learning a skill like this. Appraise. When you are appraised of something, someone tells you about it. Apprised. Apprise. When you are apprised of something, someone tells you about it. It's a formal word. Have customers been fully apprised of the advantages? You must apprise them of the dangers that may be involved. Approach. When you approach something, you get closer to it. You didn't approach the front door at once. When I approached, they grew silent. We turned to see the approaching cars slowed down. Approach is also a noun. As they approached, the little boy ran away and hid. The approach of a low-flying helicopter. An approach to a place is a road, path, or other route that leads to it. The path serves as an approach to the boathouse. If you approach someone about something, you speak to them about it for the first time, often making an offer or request. When Chappelle approached me about the job, my first reaction was disbelief. He approached me to create and design the restaurant. Anna approached several builders and was fortunate to come across Eddie. Approach is also a noun. There had already been approaches from buyers interested in the whole of the group. When you approach a task, problem, or situation in a particular way, you deal with it or think about it in that way. The bank has approached the issue in a practical way. Employers are interested in how you approach problems. Your approach to a task, problem, or situation is the way you deal with it or think about it. We will be exploring different approaches to gathering information. The future time or event approaches, it gradually gets nearer as time passes. As autumn approaches, the plants and colors in the garden changed. The approaching crisis. Approach is also a noun. The festive spirit that permeated the house with the approach of Christmas. As you approach a future time or event, time passes so that you get gradually nearer to it. You approach the end of the year with the economy slowing and little sign of chi. If something approaches a particular level or state, it almost reaches that level or state. Oil prices have approached the highest level for almost 10 years. Alright, go. So these are collocations. These are what the word is commonly used, the way the word is commonly used with other words. So we have adjective plus approach, so a different approach, fresh approach, innovative approach, positive approach, balanced approach, conservative approach, cautious approach, traditional approach, verb plus approach, consider approach, favor approach, suggest approach, try approach, adopt approach, require approach. And then we have definition number 1 of approach. Approach vehicle, approach cautiously or gingerly, approach counsel, approach directly, formally, or approach tentatively, approach subject or approach task, or deadline approach, election approach, holiday approach, summer approach, storm approach, approach age, approach retirement. Okay, synonyms to approach is a method. The new teaching methods. Another way of making new friends is to go to an evening class. Tests performed using a new technique. Capitalist mode of production. As he neared the stable, he slowed the horse and petted it. Deal with. The way that building societies deal with complaints. Tackle. The first reason to tackle these problems is to save children's lives. She admitted to herself that she didn't know how to handle the problem. Approachable. If you describe someone as approachable, you think that they are friendly and easy to talk to. Approbation. Approbation. Approbation is approval of something or agreement to do it. Approbation. Cool word. Approbation. Approbation. Approbation is approval of something. Appropriate. Appropriate. The adjective is pronounced appropriate. The verb is pronounced appropriate. How cool. Appropriate. 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 So cool. I didn't know that. I was wondering how it's pronounced. I thought it's pronounced the same way. But verb is appropriate and adjective is appropriate. Appropriate. Cool. Appropriate. Oh yeah, appropriate. 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 Actually, I knew that. Something, but not consciously. I just used it correctly. Appropriate. Appropriate. Yeah. just use it subconsciously, but I see that there is a difference. Cool. So something that is appropriate is suitable or acceptable for a particular situation. Dress neatly and attractively in an outfit appropriate to the job. The teacher can then take